Tune into Mohawk TV's Channel 4 for all your coverage of the 2009 elections. Mohawk TV is Ganawag's leader in news coverage. Get the latest headlines, news stories, and current events on local Channel 4. Candidates Night and special interviews with nominees can be seen throughout June right here on Mohawk TV.
Kwe Ganawag and welcome to another episode of On the Record. I'm your host, Michael Stalk. We're continuing our coverage of the 2009 elections with a special segment, I guess, for today. We figured that we would have been done with the elections up to now in regards to all the interviews of the candidates, but recently, as early as this morning, we received documents from a bailiff regarding Keith Myiow, who had received an injunction from the federal court to have his name put back on the ballot. We have him in studio today. As you know, Keith was removed from Mohawk Council by the current council members that are in now, and subsequent to that, there's been some legalities back and forth between the two of them, and with the removal of him from the election, and now with the injunction, they want him back on. They're looking at possibly redoing the advanced polls. So we're going to cover some of that today. Good afternoon, Keith.
How are we doing?
We've been saying that the election up to now has not been too controversial. We know that there was going to be possibly some kind of court decision since on Tuesday, which was yesterday, you were going to be heard in front of the federal court in regards to the merits of your case and to keep you on the ballot. And here we are today. So how did it go in court? Obviously, it went in your favor.
No, it didn't go in my favor. It went in the favor of the community, the people at large. What the decision ultimately means is, if you take a look at your back page, and I would like to straighten out one item before we get too far. You said the present council members ruled against me. That's not entirely true. What is the truth is 7 of them, I believe it was Rhonda Kirby, John D. Delormier, Johnny Montour, Kenneth McCumber, Mike DeLille, Peggy Mayo, and Peter Paul, if I remember. Did I say Kenneth McCumber? Yeah. Okay. And Peter Paul voted against me. Martin LeBourne and Mike Bush did not vote against me.
I mean, so, I'm just going by some of the statements that Mike DeLille had stated that it was unanimous across the table, so I was using that as an example.
Okay, but you know, it becomes dangerous, those statements. They flagrantly use unanimous when, if you take a look at the actual vote, it was not unanimous.
Okay, let's regardless of that circumstance.
But we have to busy ourselves with the truth.
And that's what's going to come out in the next couple of days. The election is 3 days away, and you were removed.
Correct. Illegal.
Then you brought the case to our court with some reserves that you didn't really want to go there to the beginning, since they are employees indirectly of the Mohawk Council. What happened in that situation?
Well, what happened in that situation is it was supposed to be first heard, I believe it was April 19th of 2008, and the Court of Ganawag ruled outside of the disciplinary measures that they were going to hold it in camera. The disciplinary measures allegedly state to a T that I am entitled to a public tribunal. Public means in the public. Tribunal, 3 justices. It doesn't say judges, it says justices, because they are not judges. And because of their mandate under Section 107 of the Indian Act, it stipulates the scope of their authority, their power, if you will. And the Band Council did not have the authority to expand that scope due to the fact that they did not appoint those judges. They are appointed under the Indian Act, like I said, Section 107. And again, the Band Council is their employer.
And as a result of that, they had made a judgment upholding the Mohawk Council's decision to remove you for
whatever reason. I'm still scratching my head on it due to the fact they never heard the case, and yet they rendered the decision. And that's what this federal court decision is saying, that if you take a look at section...
Yeah, I read it. It says that that in the merit of the information that you provided with them, that when you do have a hearing in federal court to address all those issues, aside from the injunction, that some of those things that had transpired up to this day will be addressed in greater detail, and that there was a lot of inconsistencies as far as the jurisdiction of the Mohawk Council, the jurisdiction of the our court and the judges to hear this case to begin with.
On the merits, but not on what the federal court ruled against the court ruling of Kahnawake, based on the fact that they did not hear a case and yet they put a ruling out. And it says in the ruling that the court of Kahnawake acted ultra-virously. And what that means is it acted with prejudice, and there was a significant amount of bias, if you will, that exists. So was there a fair trial? And the answer to that is no, and the federal court recognized that, so they overruled that court ruling.